I've been thinking about something recently. I think a lot of people are trying to rebuild themselves from the wrong starting point. Yeah? Most self-improvement stuff online seems to assume that you're starting from this place of calmness and clarity. Like you got loads of energy, loads of time, loads of discipline, loads of mental space, and that you're just choosing not to use it properly. But I don't think that's true for a lot of people. Definitely, definitely not me. you know, I think most people who are trying to rebuild themselves, they're already exhausted, and that changes everything. Because if you're already knackered, already stressed, you're already carrying too much, then just being told to work harder, to wake up even earlier, to train harder, to optimize everything and sort your life out, that doesn't help. It just becomes another thing you feel that you're failing at. That's where people get stuck. It's not that they don't care. It's not that they're lazy. They're just trying to improve their life while still dealing with the life that they've got. Yeah? You've already got work. You've already got bills. Maybe they've got kids. Maybe their relationships, not great. Maybe the money situation ain't great. Yeah? Maybe they ain't sleeping because of what's going on. Maybe they're just tired all the time. They don't even know what rested feels like anymore. And then the internet is there saying they've got to be more disciplined. They've got to be more productive. They've got to be more focused. And they're fighting just to keep going. How is that helpful? I've worked in kitchens for years, yeah? Especially when it's busy. You end up living in this weird mode where all you've got is, how can I get through this thing just to make it to the next thing? Yeah? You got to get through the shift. You got to get through the prep list. You got to get through the service. You got to get through to next week. You come home tired. You sit down. You're scrolling on your phone because your brain's fried, but you're too awake to sleep, so you sleep terribly. You get up the next day and you got to do it all again. But you're still functioning, you're still turning up and you're still doing what needs doing. And because of that, you tell yourself you're fine. But there's a difference between functioning and actually being all right. Yeah, actually being okay. And loads of people are just living in that gap. Yeah, they're functioning, they're reliable, they're useful, they're getting stuff done, but they're exhausted underneath it. Yeah, and these people are getting rewarded for being useful, even though it's costing them. And that ain't right. I've seen it. Yeah, the person that everyone's relying on is the person who's carrying everything the most, because they're still showing up, they're still fixing things, they're still covering things, they're still keeping everything moving, so nobody notices that they're running on fumes. After a while, people confuse this usefulness with their own identity. They stop asking what do I need, and everything becomes what needs doing. That's dangerous, man. That is a dangerous place to be for too long. Yeah? Because then rest feels guilty. Yeah? Sitting down feels wrong. You feel selfish for doing something for yourself. And if you ain't careful, your whole sense of worth just gets tied to how much you can carry. That's just survival mode with better branding and marketing, yeah? I think that's why the word stability keeps coming back to me, yeah? Everything comes back to stability. People don't need intensity. They need stability. Yeah? You don't need a new personality. You know, you don't need to become some ultra disciplined Instagram version of yourself. You just need stability. Better sleep. A bit less chaos. A cleaner environment. Some kind of routine that don't collapse every time life gets heavy. I don't know, it don't sound impressive. Yeah? Nobody's going viral for saying get some sleep, clean the kitchen a bit, you know, sort a bill out, go for a walk, and stop treating yourself like you're a robot. But that's what most people need, yeah? Adult life, it's maintenance on yourself. And we don't talk about it. Why don't we talk about it, yeah? Maintaining your mental health, your finances, your relationships, yeah? Your routines. Just maintaining yourself. That isn't failure. That's just adulthood. That's what it is. And if you stop maintaining these things for long enough, your life starts slipping. Not in some dramatic moment. It's quieter than that. You stop replying to messages. You know, you stop moving your body. You stop going out. You sort the small problems and just ignore the big ones, yeah? You know, you don't do those little things you used to like doing that kept you steady. But because it happens slowly, you just adjust to it. Yeah? You get used to feeling worse. You get used to just being irritable and having less patience. You get used to being tired. And then eventually you don't even realize how far you've drifted. Yeah? That's what worries me. People don't decide consciously to fall apart. You just drift there slowly, quietly. Yeah? One neglected thing at a time. But I think that's the way you rebuild yourself as well, you know, in reverse. It's not a massive breakthrough. It's not a dramatic life reset. It's not a big Rocky montage. It's just repeated little ordinary actions. You know? Get to bed a bit earlier. Get a bit more sleep. Walk down to the corner shop. Yeah? Talk to your partner. Put the phone down and talk to them. Yeah? Tell them about that thing that is bugging you. That thing that is in your head. Yeah? Get some veggies in ya. Yeah? Just make your meal a bit better. Yeah? Grab some bananas or something. Yeah? Just get a bit of fruit and veg in ya. Have a glass of water. Have another glass of water. Yeah? Turn the telly off. Maybe just, you know, the summer's coming. Just try and sit outside and have a nice, calm evening outside. Yeah? If you deal with one problem instead of just avoiding it, that can help fix things. It doesn't have to be a massive thing. It doesn't. But it'll tell your brain, it sends it a different message. Yeah, it says that we're trying, and that matters more than even the action that you're doing. Sending your brain that message, saying that we are trying again. Yeah, that it gives you that motivation. Yeah, that starting point. Yeah, you don't suddenly become stable. You don't. You practice it in small ways until it starts becoming normal. That's what real rebuilding looks like. It's not dramatic when it's happening. Yeah, it probably looks boring from the outside. You know it, but when you've lived with chaos in your head for long enough, boring feels like peace. And that's what people are looking for. Not perfection, not some massive transformation, just enough peace to be able to think clearly again. Enough structure to stop feeling everything feeling impossible, yeah? Enough energy to start caring about life again. Enough stability to become yourself again. Because just maybe rebuilding yourself realistically doesn't mean becoming someone completely different, yeah? Maybe it just means becoming yourself again. A calmer, healthier, more honest version of yourself, a stable version of yourself, but still you, yeah? Still human, still imperfect, still figuring it out. I ain't perfect, I ain't figured it all out. Don't be thinking that. But maybe that's enough, yeah? Because in the end, you choose how it ends.